Hello everyone. This is just kind of an impromptu video because I wanted to see if the Wi-Fi worked. We're talking about ascension symptoms today. I wanted to share a few things that have been going on with me and also, answer any questions that you might have about ascension symptoms if this is something that you are experiencing. So basically, ascension symptoms take many forms, and they are something that you typically feel in your physical body, your energy bodies, your emotional body, even your mental body. And there are hi Stephen, there are lots of different types of ascension symptoms. So if you have any particular, I forgot to turn my phone on airplane, apologies. If you have any ascension symptoms that you'd like to share, please put those in the comments below. If you have any questions about it, please put those in the comments below so that hopefully I can answer them for you. So one of the things that I've recently experienced that I would call an ascension symptom is extreme pain. And it actually started out in my shoulders. I felt like I had the flu in my shoulders. They were really achy. It's like stiff joints. I could feel it in my joints. It just felt really strange. It was just localized in my shoulders. So I asked Max if he would give me, a little massage, and he did, and the symptoms were relieved. But then what happened is the pain moved into my pelvis. And it was the most excruciating pain that I felt since I had a herniated disc, 15, 16 years ago. Excruciating pain. I couldn't find a comfortable position. I couldn't sleep for like 2 nights as it kept me awake. And so what I did was I looked within to see, what is this about? What's going on? Because, my mind was like, maybe you should go to the ER or something. Maybe, you've been bitten by a lot of mosquitoes lately. Maybe something's going on here. Maybe there's some kind of virus that got into your joints or something. The mind was like going a little crazy. Because I have developed a deep relationship with my body, because I know how to listen to what my body's telling me, I asked. I was like, what is going on here? And the answer was, you are releasing, significantly releasing. And so I trusted that and I went with it. And it lasted for about 36 hours. It was very, very painful. But what I do when this kind of thing occurs is I look within. Okay, if I'm releasing, what is it that I need to release? Is there anything that I need to know to assist this process? Is there anything that can make this process easier, more graceful? And I asked for comfort if that was possible. I asked for more ease and grace. Every time I would get to a new layer of what was going on for me and release that, the pain would be temporarily abated, but then it would come back full force. And so I would do it again. Okay, is there something I need to see about myself? Is there something that I need to know? How can I make this process easier? And there was one point where I was in such pain and I was so exhausted. I called in the light beings and I was like, guys, if there's anything you can do to help me, please. And I could feel their presence around me. I could feel them in the room with me. But it was like there was nothing that I could do. There was nothing that there was nothing that they could do to assist. There was nothing they could do to change my situation. All they could do was hold the loving support and space for me while I went through this release. So while it was a little frustrating because of course I wanted assistance, I wanted the pain to go away, I also knew that this too shall pass. This is something I just need to go through, and when I see what it is I need to see, that it will be relieved. So I kept digging deeper, I kept digging deeper. Yes, Jolanda, I see your comment. I kept digging deeper until I got to the point of I am not this body, and to release any ideas I have about myself. I'm still kind of working with that concept because, to be honest, it's kind of deep, and I, even though I've looked at this before, there's, I guess, another level now. So That ascension symptom was really intense. Really, I don't wish it on anybody. Um, but it was like lifetimes and lifetimes of gunk. Whatever that was, that pain was being held in my body, and it needed to come out, because what's occurring now is we are receiving tremendous amounts of love and light. You know, if you followed me, you know I've talked about this before. We are receiving tremendous amounts of love and light on this planet. And if we are not willing to receive, if we don't have a process for knowing how to release, for knowing how to work with these energies, it can be extremely intense. It can be frustrating. Because I knew what was going on, I was able to allow that pain to move out of my body. And yes, I did ask for ease and grace. I did ask for as much comfort as possible. The light beings were not able to assist me with that. That was like, no, hands off. Susie needs to go through this. And that's fine. And I can say that now, having come through it. But hey, Mike. Hey, Hernando. But it's not easy. So I have a lot of compassion, you know, for those going through things right now. The biggest key that I can share with you, the biggest thing that we need to do when these symptoms occur, is to look within, especially if these symptoms are uncomfortable, to look within to see if there's anything we need to address within ourselves, to not ignore it. You know, there's no spiritual bypass around this. If there's something that we truly need to address, we need to address it. And we can't, you know, wish it away or ask for it to go away. We can ask for ease and grace. I always suggest that. But if it's something that we need to go through, we just need to go through it. Why can't light beings help at these times? A good question, Hernando. I think in some cases they can. You know, if you ask for assistance, I think there are some times where that's allowed, if you will. In my case, when I was going through the pain release from my pelvis, like I said, I could feel their presence with me, and that was the help that they were allowed to give me. It was a very physical experience. It was deeply physical. So I don't know why in my case, but for whatever reason, it was like they weren't allowed to assist. It was for me to go through. It was for me to experience. It was for me to release. And, you know, and maybe they did assist after I got to the place of understanding I needed to get to. Maybe they did assist, because I did eventually fall asleep after I reached my understanding. So, you know, to answer your question, Hernando, I don't necessarily know. I think sometimes, you know, we've chosen this physical experience as humans, and it's just what we need to experience because it's what we've chosen. So that's the best answer I can give you. Maybe I'll think of something better. Okay, for you ladies, I also want to share another experience because I've talked to several people having a similar experience. So I just want you to know you're not alone in this if you're experiencing this. For some of us women who are working with embodying the divine feminine, we're working with Gaia, sometimes we experience swollen or engorged breasts, and they can be very tender sometimes as well. Swollen ovaries, even a little like bloating in our gut, like almost like we're pregnant or something. My take on this is because we are assisting to create the new earth, it's like we're going through symptoms of giving birth or being pregnant or something like that. So if any of you ladies are having that symptom, I just want you to know you're not alone. There are others of us going through that as well. Another ascension symptom that I'll touch on is something I'm personally experiencing. Again, I'll share my personal experiences. Release through the skin. So I'm just going to get a little closer here. If you can see my forehead, every once in a while I go through this intense release through my skin on my face where the skin gets really dry and just kind of peels, you know, once or twice a day I can just like peel layers of skin off. It's really strange. When it first happened, the first couple of times, it was around my third eye, and it was just like, you know, things were opening up and just detoxing through there. So a lot of these symptoms are detoxification symptoms because we are releasing that stuff to make room for the light that's coming in right now. So it's pretty exciting. That's how I look at things. It's pretty exciting what's happening right now. As we release, we are making room for the new. How can more light be embodied by me if I am holding on to the density within me? Now, this pain that came out of my pelvis, I didn't even know that was there. I hadn't felt pain there for a long time since I was, had my herniated disc years and years ago. So I didn't even know that pain was there. But the energy of it, it felt just like lifetimes and lifetimes of stuff coming out. So I will give you some suggestions on how to deal with these symptoms. I did write a newsletter about this. So if you are on my list, if you are part of my newsletter community, you will have gotten that newsletter. The thing that I really think is super important is what I mentioned before, is if we're experiencing these symptoms and we don't know how to deal with them, to always ask, is there something I need to see about this? Is there something I need to look at within myself to gain an understanding, to see what's going on, to release this? Yes, inflammation is a big ascension symptom, again, because we are releasing. Sometimes that takes the form of inflammation because it's not always an easy release. So to make the release easier, we need to ask, is there anything I need to see about this? Is there anything I need to know and understand about what's going on right now? If you're not guided to see that there's something deeper, like if there's nothing deeper that you need to see, one of the things you can do is go outside, put your bare feet on the ground, allow those negative ions from Gaia to come into your system to help to balance you. I'm a big fan of going out into nature, receiving the energy signatures of nature, because there's a very grounding aspect of being in nature, as well as just that natural balancing that occurs when we absorb the energy signatures of nature. So I love going out into nature to assist with ascension symptoms. Being hydrated, being hydrated, being hydrated. Drink pure water as much as possible. I'm not saying overhydrate, but the act of hydration assists in releasing inflammation. It assists in the flow of your body symptoms, the flow of releasing, the flow of taking in what's coming in through the light waves that are hitting the planet now. Hydration assists with all of this. It helps to keep your body stable, helps to keep your body balanced, it helps in the release process, the receiving process. Hydration is so fundamental because our bodies are mostly water. So if we're not keeping that circuitry running clear, we will, in my opinion, probably experience a lot more symptoms of ascension. And Parvin is giving us some good advice here for how you can deal with some inflammation and other things in the body. So thank you for that, Parvin. Eating pure food. Because we are receiving so much light and love energy right now, these are very, very high vibrations. So if we can put high vibrational food into our bodies, hey Catherine, thanks for joining. If we can put high vibration foods into our bodies, it will make the embodiment and assimilation of these love energies much easier for us. So we can do ourselves a big favor by eating pure food. I'm talking about non-GMO food. I'm talking about organic, fresh, local, seasonal. All these things can really assist our bodies in assimilating and adapting to the higher frequencies that are coming to the planet. Hey Scott, thanks for joining. So we're talking about ascension symptoms and how we can assist our bodies with these symptoms. Personally, right now, since I have released that huge amount of pain from my pelvis, I'm going on my second day of feeling really, really great, which is a little bit different for me. Honestly, usually I'm experiencing a lot of fatigue around these times. Right now we're gearing up for a big alignment, for huge amounts of energy to come to the planet. Usually around these times I'm experiencing a lot more fatigue, a lot more lethargy, just not wanting to do a whole lot. I'm going on my second day of feeling really great, so I'm grateful. And I have a feeling it has a lot to do with how I've released so much pain from my physical body a week ago. Fatigue, dealing with fatigue, sometimes we just need to go with it. You guys, sometimes we just need a rest. We need to allow what we're feeling, what's occurring, because if we are experiencing fatigue and lethargy, there's a reason. We're probably releasing a lot, we're receiving a lot, and it's a lot of work for the energy body, for the physical body, for the emotional body. It's a lot of processing. There's a tremendous amount going on underneath the surface. And so to allow that to occur, even if we don't understand everything, even if we don't know exactly what's going on, just to allow the process to occur. And sometimes that looks like fatigue. Sometimes that looks like dizziness or nausea. Sometimes it looks like, heat in our hands or our feet or fluctuating body temperatures. There's a lot that's shifting and changing. And so, hey David, so when I talk about high energies, high vibrational energies, what I'm talking about is the love and light energies that are currently coming to the planet. There are some Christ energies involved in that, absolutely, but it's not all Jesus. It's the straight, the pure from Creator. It's the straight, pure, the highest vibrational energies of love and light. So great question. Thank you for that. Emotions, I will touch on emotions a little bit because I know a lot of people are experiencing fluctuating emotions as part of their Ascension symptoms. Emotions are, it's something I'm so grateful I learned how to feel my emotions, how to express, how to work with them, because I do have a sensitive emotional body, and as these love and light energies come to the planet, they are infiltrating our emotional bodies. And if there are things that we have hidden or suppressed that we have not dealt with, they are going to come up for us now with a lot. We're going to be feeling these emotions with a lot of intensity. So if you have not learned how to feel what you're really feeling, it's something that I highly suggest practicing. Finding a safe space in which you can feel what you actually feel. If there's something you haven't processed, thank you, Laura. If there's something that you haven't processed emotionally, it's time to do it. There's only so long that we can suppress things, that we can sweep things under the rug before dealing with them. And if you don't deal with them, they'll turn into physical symptoms. And that's like sometimes a lot worse, illness and disease that can occur if you don't feel your emotions. Hey, Demetrius. Hello in London. Thank you for joining. So again, one of the things that you can do to assist your emotional body, go out in nature, put your feet in running water, put your feet on the ground, allow the emotion to flow. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh, laugh. If you need to scream, find a place where you can scream. Let it out in a healthy way. Feel it, express it. Allow yourself to feel the highest joys and the depths of your lowest lows. And this is something that I say coming from a place of practicing what I preach. If I need to feel something, I feel it. And it's at the point now where it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm in public or whether I'm at home. If I need to cry, I cry. If I'm feeling something, I feel it. And then I let it go. Observe a child. Observe a child and how they deal with their emotions. They feel something, they feel it right there and then they move on. 2 minutes later, they're playing again. And that's something that we can look at and learn from, to become like a child again. And, with a little bit more maturity, it's not about reactivity with our emotions. It's about feeling. It's about feeling what we need to feel, letting it go and moving on. And there's a way to do that as an adult that's appropriate. Although, you know, like I said, I'll cry in a grocery store if I need to. So I hope this broadcast on Ascension Symptoms was helpful for you. If you've joined part way through, you know, go back and watch the beginning. I share a lot about my personal experience. Know that you are okay. Breathe. Demetrius is saying, center, ground, earth, I. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So just take a deep breath with me. Allow that breath to flow into your belly and out again. Keep breathing. Bring your focus back to your breath. And Mike Thomas, if you're still with us, you have lots of great advice about breathing. You could share that perhaps if you're willing. Laura, how long will this last? Until we are at full saturation. So it just depends how many people respond to these energies and embody them and assimilate them. We're going to be experiencing these symptoms until we're not, you know? So until either as a collective we're fully saturated with heaven on earth energies, or until within your own being you are saturated. So I'm hoping for myself I'm getting to a point of saturation. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm always in the moment. I don't, you know, I'm not attached to this feeling either. You know, whatever comes next, comes next. So, yeah, Laura, I can't really say for sure, you know, because everything's shifting and changing, and we don't know how many people are embodying these energies. We don't know how long this process will take. Could be months, could be years. Who knows? My responsibility is to me, to embody as much as I can, and then to share what I know with you and hopefully assist you in your process of embodying the light. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to type those in the comments below and I can answer them after the video is complete. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here on this planet with me. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Just do your best with all of this. That's the bottom line. Do the best that you can. If you have children that you need to attend to, do your best with them. Do your best for yourself as you're working with your children. If you have a full-time job that you go to, do your best with that. You know, I honor you for that path. That's amazing. With sensitive beings that we are going into these environments, kudos to you. So lots of love to you all. Whatever it is that you are doing in the world, I appreciate you. Thank you for being on this path. And I'm here. I'm here to assist. So if you want a one-on-one session, you can go to my website, susiebeiler.com, and we can work together if that's something that you like. All right, much love, you guys. We'll see you again soon.